Fala pessoal, tudo bem com vocês? Bem, espero que seja o White. Eu fiquei bem pessoal, vamos dar continuidade ao nosso joguinho, né? Nosso querido Stories, que eu não consigo falar o nome, me desculpem. É que nem o Dust, até agora eu não consigo pronunciar o nome do Dust direito. Bem, vamos lá pessoal, resumindo do último vídeo. A gente foi, né, a gente seguiu o nosso caminho e o nosso caminho acabou que levando a gente até a morte, né? Então a gente teve que seguir uma outra linha temporal, onde a gente teve que pegar agora o Sky Reaper e vamos ter que levar ele para dois cientistas. Pode dar bom? Pode. Como pode dar ruim também. Mas temos que ver para saber. Pessoal, antes de começar isso aqui, por favor, dê um like. Logo de início, dê um like para dar aquela moralzinha. Se inscreva no canal e, meu amigo, se você puder compartilhar com seus amigos, vai ajudar imensamente, tá bom? Agora, bora pro nosso joguinho. Eu tô querendo craftar a espada de água.
Renato wondered what would happen if he jumped. Would he be rescued by an emergency platform?
Eu acho que não. Pulou pra fazer gracinha, você vai morrer. Pá. Bom que eu consigo recuperar a vida, né? Mas é 10 de vida. Beleza. É isso. Quase full life, bora dar continuidade aqui. Eu tô curioso pra saber o que vai acontecer aqui. Ali tem um gancho, aqui tem uma escada. Se aparecer um save point. Tá. Deixa eu descer lá primeiro, porque se ali em cima for a continuação, né, o nosso objetivo, eu vou perder uma boa chance de dar aquela luteada, né? Então, bora ver isso aqui.
Hoped his hook didn't break.
Eu acho que aqui é o caminho certo, hein? Não é não. Minério. Bem que poderia vir uma essência pra mim, né, velho? Uma essência de fogo. Seria bonzão. Espada errada. Bem que eu tenho que craftar logo a de água. Vamos voltar pra cá, porque eu tô curioso pra saber o que tem lá em cima. Jogo que tem esses mapas assim muito grandes, você pode explorar, ir pra cima, enfim, você pode se sentir livre ali. É o que me chama a atenção, porque assim eu já consigo ver o que eu consigo achar. E se for bom... Opa! Eu acho que aqui é o caminho certo, hein? Agora eu não vou descer mais não. É aqui, ó. Espada do herói. Vamos lá. Pá. Bom. Ó, fala mal. Pronto. Nice demais, fiz aqui. Eu fiz um combinho muito bom. Vou pegar isso pra cá. Sério que eu fui tapeado? Nossa, logo que eu queria, essência de fogo.
Ore is pretty heavy to carry. You know what's not? A legendary weapon was exactly what the rebellion needed. They were outnumbered. The once kind emperor had become a tyrant. But his ravens stayed loyal, for he fed them his victims, and the other animals were too frightened to rebel. Renato shuddered at what the emperor was trying to do. To bring back the lost gods, the black harvest, the black sun? No. He would stop that toad, no matter what the risk. Renato had found his game changer. He would ignore all distractions and focus on the Sky River.
Eu espero que esse Sky Reaper, mano, me ajude.
Hey, a workbench. He could try out his new bling.
Bora equipar aqui a joia que eu peguei no vídeo passado. E craftar essa espadinha aqui, ó. Cadê? É uma coisa pra lá, mas beleza. Bora. Muito bom! Nice, agora só falta fazer a lâmina vazia. Nice demais. Agora eu já posso abrir as portas de gelo. Bem que eu tava achando esse mapa familiar. Bora esperar. Aí, boa. Vai pra cá. Puxa pra lá. Se pega, eu fico puto comigo mesmo. Nossa senhora, quase que eu vou pro fogo ali. Pera aí um momentinho. Vamos lá.
Boy, some people are just liable to explode if you upset them.
Esteja dentro a covas explosivos. Quanto atingidos ou atirados, eles se explodem após alguns segundos. Use-os para seu benefício. Oh meu Deus, gato, entra logo. Pera aí, espada causa stun. Foi isso, hein? Bom demais. Ué, eu defendi. Tá bom, né?
No one could beat Renato at hot potato.
Ninguém era melhor do que reinar em batata quente. Eu não consegui ler ali direito. Tá nada. Oxi. Legal, até tem hora que ele é bestinho, porque ele entra aqui no quarto e... Ah, que foi aquela parte em que eu trouxe a
It wasn't his fault.
ilha do imperador.
They looked so breakable.
Os soldados aqui estavam todos mortos. É, os soldados, ó. Os cientistas estão todos mortos aqui. Caraca.
Renato was thrilled. The scientists seemed to think he'd put the Sky Ripper together right. But one toad was worried.
Yeah, the Sky Ripper could tear a hole in existence itself. There are invisible strings that tie the universe together. If the Sky Ripper cut one, the hole would widen and widen until our whole existence fell into it.
Another toad sighed. Irving still believes in string theory.
At least go see Calaveras.
Yeah, said the worried toad.
He knows more than anyone else has forgotten about the Transcendent Emperor.
If anyone could tell him how to use this weapon safely, it would be Calaveras. It was he who had told Renato how to find it in the first place. But maybe he had to give up on using it as a weapon. Maybe he had to go to the secret rebel base and ask the generals there what he could do with a weapon that he dared not use.
Renan tinha que assumir o pior e não usar Scarab. Talvez ele devesse trazer a rebelde. Bora dele.
Well, he should have known he'd have to consult Calaveras again. The scientists at the observatory were smart enough. But what did they know of the Transcendent Emperor? He hoped it wouldn't delay him too long. The rebels had scheduled the final battle soon. Every day they delayed risked the exposure of the secret base. And some soldiers were already drifting back to their homes and families. Calaveras would fix the Sky Ripper for him. And then he would win the final battle. maybe it was the cold. But after a few steps, Renado's optimism started to slump. What if Calaveras couldn't help? Did Renado dare use the Sky Ripper? Oh, he hated that he had chosen this path. It was so much simpler to rescue friends and attack enemies, even if some of those friends were more trouble than his enemies. Some of those enemies had been friends before and might be lovers after. No, okay, it wasn't all that much simpler, no. Physics made his brain hurt. That, at least he was sure of.
Tá. Está Cavaleras. Eu espero que esse caminho não me faça...
What were these poles exactly? Parking meters from the time of the lost gods?
Espero que esse caminho não me faça ser apunhalado pelas costas de novo. Tá, esquerda ou direita? Para a esquerda, vai. Ah. Pronto. Abati o bicho. Bem que o Scar poderia me dar uma ajudinha aqui, né, no combate.
Renado felt ready to take on new powers.
Antes de eu ir naquele elevador... não dá. Beleza, ó, pelo que eu tô vendo aqui, eu acho que essa rota vai ser uma boa. E se não for, já vamos saber. Esse escudo aqui eu vou deixar ele por último, porque é isso aqui, ó.
Can I borrow that?
Aí, ó. Pá! É bom que eu não tenho que pegar ali o bicho pra atacar nele, pra depois conseguir quebrar o escudo. Ia ser um porre. Ah, eu perdi um baú ali de graça. Não vai me matar, não. Morre. Bicho ruim. Pera. Nossa, mano, esse slow motion que dá, velho.
The ravens who seemed everywhere all the time. Where did they hatch from? Were there giant raven hatcheries somewhere, or did they have families? Ooh, he didn't want to think about raven mummies raising their darling raven chicks. Yeah, Calaveras would help. He would make Renado feel better about using the Sky Ripper. And then Renado wouldn't have to worry about ravens ever again.
Olha o tamanho dessa... Nossa senhora. Essa porra é mais alta, velho. Aí. Opa. Nossa, tô vendo a hora dessas escadas quebrarem ainda. Calma. Susto. Eu vou usar a espada de fogo porque assim eu vou ter mais dano contra os bichos daqui.
Sometimes Renado really hated inanimate objects.
Pera. Grava isso. Aí, ó.
Renado had been focusing all his energies on the Sky Ripper.
Nossa.
Calaveras could not fix it. He'd be out of options. He would have to assault the Imperial fleet empty-handed.
Aí esse é o problema. Oxê. Quebra? Ah. Para esse momento. Deixa eu me arrumar aqui. Bora. Mano, esse gancho é muito, vou dizer, muito bom de usar. Vamos lá. Se você é um inimigo, um movimento sobre não funciona em inimigos com escudo. Pera aí. Agora eu consigo passar pelos inimigos. Nossa, isso aqui é bom, hein? É o sapo.
Calaveras had never let him down.
Yeah, of course I can make it work better.
Vai lá, velho.
But when Renato explained about the strings, Calaveras grew thoughtful.
Oh, strings, you say? Well, the Arcana do speak of the ties that bind the world.
He drew many intricate symbols in the dirt.
Yeah, so, according to my calculations, each time you fire, I'm afraid there's a 1 in 128 chance you'll destroy the universe.
That's pretty good odds. That's like rolling, what, 21 dice and they all come up 6. What are the odds of that?
What? No! It's more like 2.716s in a row.
Anyway, with those odds, it won't happen if I use it just once.
Yeah, no, that's not right. Each time you use it... Okay, look, just don't use it ever.
All right, I guess. As he sailed away from the mountains, Renato could see clouds darkening. Rain? No. Ships. Imperial ships, swarming thick as bees. This was it. The big battle. They could not afford to lose this one. What if it did not go well? What if he had to use the Sky Ripper? Could he gamble the universe? On the other hand, what were the odds of rolling 21 sixes in a row?
Caraca, hein, agora, hein? De novo. Né, de novo a gente vai se encontrar em uma luta assim.
The battle was not going spectacularly well. What had the rebels been thinking? They'd been thinking he would bring the Sky Ripper, or the Iblis Stone, or that he'd sideline Zenobia somehow, or turn her. Couldn't he use the Sky Ripper just once? After all, if chances were 1 in 128, that meant he'd for sure be okay the first time. They'd get worse each time he used it, but the first time would be okay, right? He wasn't sure that it was right. So he didn't fire the Sky Ripper. He just brought it along, in case.
Tipo, é 128, né, a chance. O problema é que pode acontecer na primeira, tá ligado? É que nem você pegar, sei lá, uma loot box da EA. Ah, no seu fifinha. Por mais, né, enfim. Aí você vai lá, roleta, o que eu acho difícil pra caralho, é vir um Messi.
Portal that led right into the middle of the fleet. It was a glaring weakness in the defense.
Pera aí. Boa. Calma. Não. Eu trolei. Trolei muito ali. Bora lá. Agora a gente ganha. Eu peguei o baú daqui. Contou, qual que contou? Acho que 3 machucados. Não tá? Tá bom, então bora lá. Ué. Toma. Dá na cara. Pum, pum. Boa. Nossa, agora em clã. Agora, hein, pessoal. Ó, tô sentindo, hein. Tá. Me dá vida.
Bernardo had been the terror of the sandcastles when he was two.
O terror dos castelos de areia quando tinha 2 anos. O bicho era bravo. Tá. Se tem baú pelo caminho, porque vai dar bom, hein?
That's my order, thought Bernardo.
Eu acho que já posso fazer a espada do vazio, hein? Quero vida. Sem vida. Tá bom. Nossa! O bicho explodiu aqui uma roupa, velho. Não é pra acontecer isso de queimar. Uma bicho explodiu na minha cara, tá ligado? Eu também fui besta.
I think this is yours, said Bernardo. But he couldn't hear his enemy's answer.
Cara, mano, é o que eu falei, essa... Não é lentidão, mas sim esse slow motion que ele dá, velho, pra finalizar os caras é muito bonito, velho. Pra finalizar os corvos, né? Porque caras não são, são corvos. Bora lá.
I'm sorry. Was that your shield?
Espera. É assim, ó. Vamos rápido. Nível 11, peguei level up. Tá bom demais.
Someone had told him the odds didn't change just because you'd had a streak of good luck. His gut told him that was wrong, though. And he always listened to his gut. On the other hand,
Eu não morri.
28 chances to win. But one of them, he'd destroy the universe.
Eu não morri
That
desse jeito.
seemed a bit serious. Maybe he could defeat the Emperor without firing the Sky Ripper. Maybe he could bluff, but with a real weapon. Like in cards, when you had 3 knaves, but you
Eu acho que
pretended
não
you
ia
had a
pegar.
face pin. That could work.
Caraca, velho, quando não se tem muita vida é... Não quero energia, mano, eu quero vida. Reinado? Tá.
Don't look down, he thought.
É, se olhar pra baixo, vai aprender a voar. Obrigado. Ah, tem que pisar aqui, ó. Deixa eu pegar aqui a espada de gelo. Ah, acho que vai ser boa. Pera. Pronto.
That is how we do it, said Bernardo to himself.
Mano, esse jogo aqui, velho, eu falo, ele é interessante, ele é legalzinho. Caraca, velho, eu não sou bom pra desviar desse tiro, não. Eu vou morrer antes de chegar no final, quer ver? Eu não quero morrer.
Good thing Renato didn't have vertigo.
Dá bem, né? Mais um desses magos. Os encantadores podem polir e curar inimigos. Beleza. É mole mesmo, né? Vem pra cá você. Nossa. Ah, entendi. Vem aqui. Aí, ó.
He set up the Sky Ripper and let it warm up. He would bluff if he had to. Zenobia came out, flanked by a very daunting platoon of ravens. You won't actually use that, she said in that annoying, I know everything because I'm a cat and you know nothing because you're just a fox voice she had. Or I know the odds. Good, because there's a real chance you could destroy the universe. No, not the first time I use it. The odds are too low. What? No? Yeah, sure. The first time, the odds are practically nothing. They only go up if I use it a bunch more times. No, but that's not how odds work. Didn't you pay attention in class? Now surrender, or I'll use it. Just once, he said. Don't. He felt sure the odds were with him. You have to go with his gut. That's what heroes do. Fire!
Antes de começar, antes de dar continuidade, você viu ali que na tradução era para dar sexto sentido, mas tá sexto sentido, ou seja, a tradução não pegou o T ali. Foi só... vamos voltar pro vídeo.
He said, please, the Sky Ripper fired. With a tremendous whoosh, the Emperor's flagship went up in flames. It was awesome. And then he noticed there was a hole in the air. A blackness, like a tear in a parchment. Wind was blowing into it, widening it. It grew larger, and even larger. Crates fell upwards into it, and the world itself seemed bent, like the reflection on a curved mirror, as it poured into the ravenous hole. Ah, 1 in 128. What are the odds? Thought Renato. And then everything fell into the hole and was gone. Renato stared at the book. He was still alive. Again. And still only flying away from burning Ubar. Had he lived that adventure? Or only dreamt it?
Opa.
Had he really died? It
Fileira
felt
3.
so real, not like a dream at all. And he'd lost again. Oh, he hated that. But he had made different choices. And he'd lost in a different way. It was the book, wasn't it? Oracles showed you your destiny. But this was showing him different ways he could die miserably. Thanks a bunch, book, he thought. But these were destinies that he did not have to fulfill. But he'd learned another true thing. The core was powerful, but dangerous if used improperly.
Realmente. História 1, 2, 3. Ah, aqui foi quando...
But that meant there must be a destiny where he survived and won, right? Otherwise, what was the point? And with that, the book's pages fluttered back once more to the beginning, and the clouds parted over the Isles of Boreas. It was time to choose. The rebellion was in trouble. Ravens were scouting for the secret rebel base. They needed a game changer. Pieces of the Sky Ripper had surfaced. Renato knew that using it could go catastrophically wrong, but he was sure he could figure out how to use it safely. Also, a temple had risen out of empty desert. The Emperor had brought the Sky Ripper pieces up out of ancient burial by his obscene rituals. Could this be where the Iblis stone was hidden? Someone better get it before he does, thought Renato. And also, his old friend Lapino needed rescuing. Of course, Renato had a pretty strong suspicion that Lapino had betrayed the rebellion. But could Renato really leave an old friend to the Ravens?
Tá, agora. Okay.
The island was windswept desert. No one went there except ostriches and ostrich hunters. The Iblis stone. It sounded ominous. It sounded powerful. If the Emperor was searching for it, it must be dangerous. And so, Renato went ostrich hunting.
A caça da avestruz. Bem.
Every child could sing verses about the Sky Ripper, but ancient codices held hints of other things. A stone that ate souls, a ruby that drank blood, a jewel only a righteous man could give away. Were all these things the Iblis stone? Long hidden in a buried temple? Another ancient item that was only resurfacing now? Drawn up from the deeps by the Emperor's horrific rituals?
Eu fico em silêncio quando tá tendo a narração, porque senão eu vou atrapalhar a narração e vai ser ruim. Opa! Ah! Eu só quero a espada do vazio.
More fire? Yes, please.
Tá. É, ali é a continuação, então vamos ali pra direita. Baúzito, ó. Pera aí, pessoal. Caraca, olha o deserto que bonito. Já pensou eu encontro um titã aqui? Um colosso? Nossa senhora. E tipo, aquele livro...
distrusted doors that opened automatically, especially after being buried for millennia. Was this some sort of trap?
E tipo, pelo que eu vi, aquele livro ali que o Reinaldo pegou lá no início, lá com o garotinho, é um livro especial por causa disso aqui, ó. Os caminhos que ele faz, o livro vê e fala, ó, vai dar ruim. Caraca. Espera. Ah, vem. Toma. Boa, boa.
The Ravens were already here, cawing in frustration. They were still searching for a way in. Good. Then he hadn't come too late.
Se tem inimigos, é porque a gente tá indo pelo caminho certo. Vamos lá. Ah, também causou dano. Mas aqui eu vou fazer o seguinte, vou pegar mais vida.
Swell. He'd always wanted to do that.
Vou pegar esse vídeo porque fica melhor pra mim. Nossa, a lavinha tá quentinho. Pronto. Não vai, não. Ó, pá. Vem aqui, ó. Puxa pra trás. Bloqueio. Totaque, totaque. Ah, perdi o combo. Pronto. Caraca. Ai, quando o cara é bom, né, pessoal? Bora lá. Mano. Essa musiquinha não parece Star Wars?
Ice walls only let you through if they knew you were cool.
Pois, eu tô de cabeça fria. Pessoal, dessa vez eu não vou ler, tá bom? Vocês dão um pause aí e vão lendo, tá bom? Beleza.
It was definitely easier to fight inanimate objects.
Tá, o que eu vou fazer? Pegar esse baú aqui. Eu só espero que não dê problema. Mais um pouquinho eu consigo fazer a espada do vazio, hein? Vazio, ó, espada vazia. Pera, explode. Tá vendo? Você voa? Vamos ver.
I never get tired of doing that, thought Renato.
Nem eu me canso. Beleza. Baúzão, ó. Ai, caralho. Tá aqui o bicho bem colado comigo aí, não, né, velho? Vidinha. Não. Ao menos o baú grandão.
The rock felt hot in his hand. He could feel its secret power.
Mais uma joia, pessoal. Mata inimigos para ter de energia da espada. Tá bom. Eu queria que, né, matasse ou recuperasse a minha vida. Opa. Olha que é o seguinte. A minha vida. Tipo, eu vou ter muita barra de HP. Coisa boa. O problema vai ser eu encher ela.
And this is why heroes are called dashing, Renato thought. See? Dashing? Get it?
Aqui a caso tivesse ido pelo outro lado. Perdi. Pera. Não. Boa. Ah, não. Ué. Ah, não morre.
The ravens at least could not get past this point. Obviously, the temple builders knew how to deal with tomb raiders.
Caraca, mas vamos morrer. Nossa senhora. Eu não quero morrer. Caraca, olha o tamanho desse mapa, velho. Ô, no mapa não, o tamanho desse templo. Acho que era a curva ali embaixo.
What did you do if one of these platforms stalled?
Não. Que?
The goat. Take the goat across first, Bernardo thought. But it was too late.
Mas como que eu escapo disso aí? Ah, é a fumacinha. Que? Eu... Tá bom demais. Mais.
It was a stone of the purest blackness. It reflected no light, like a void made solid. Nervous, he picked it up. Who said that? It was the stone. Eager. Thirsty. That seemed tempting and terribly wrong. Zenobia was the Emperor's greatest general and a potent witch. But they had been close once, and Bernardo wasn't sure he really wanted to be Emperor. Why not capture the core of Sky Ripper instead? It was the eye of a lost god torn out by the transcendent Emperor to power his greatest weapon. What's the core? Said the stone anxiously.
Eu vou seguir uma rota genocida. Vamos lá,
Was
vamos
he
lá.
listening to a talking rock? Ah, but the rock had a point. If the stone could truly turn him into a powerful warrior, he could defeat the Emperor with the very weapon the wicked old toad had sought for himself. To be a hero, you had to sacrifice old friends sometimes, especially when they've become enemies.
Vixe, pior que é foda isso aí. É muito. Pum pá. Mano, essa pedra, eu acho que ela vai fazer também o bad ending, né? Onde vai acabar
As he
tudo.
placed the impossibly black crystal in his gauntlet, Bernardo had a sudden vision. Charred fields covered in dead ravens below a black sun. Was it the time of the lost gods before the transcendent Emperor? Was it the future? Feed his souls, it whispered. Take the power. He could feel the stone's hunger for souls, its thirst for blood. All right, I get it. This was going to be interesting.
Antes de eu continuar,
Truth was, Bernardo really liked the sound his sword made in the air.
ele tá com inimigo pra caramba também, viu?
sparkly, thought Renato.
9, 10, 11, 12, mais 3. Caraca, você conseguiu me travar nas paredes. É incrível como eu consigo fazer isso. Pera aí, pessoal, pera aí.
He really wasn't making a dent in those shields.
Pera. Puxa, ó. Pá.
The ravens on Zenobia's island were no match for Renato. They screamed as the stones sucked out their souls. And with each death, he felt stronger. The stone told him.
Ou seja, vai dar ruim isso aqui. Tá, aqui não dá pra passar.
So that's what they meant by a firewall.
Dá umas
What
paredes
unlocks
aqui.
a firewall?
Porque eu acho que essas paredes de fogo, gelo e a vazia são boas. Ó. Aqui, ó. Pronto. Baúzinho. Inventei do que eu preciso.
The right jewel could really give you an edge. The wrong, well, it still looked pretty, didn't it?
Não! Ah, tá bom, bora lá. Aqui não tava com uma? Ah, não coloquei, Enia. Tá bom. Seguir caminho. Pra baixo. Aí tem um baú, né? Ah, aqui também tem. Então vamos lá. Tipo, eu tô com um pressentimento que quando ele for matar a Zenobia, isso vai dar um
Couldn't
conflito.
do worse with Zenobia than he'd done with the core, could he?
Não sei. Eu não sei, mano. Se tá para baixo. É o único jeito. Ou não, peraí. É o único jeito. Tá bom, tá bom. Até agora, tudo tranquilo. Ó. Blitz.
Renato smash!
Nossa, viu o que eu queria. Veio o que eu mais queria. Pessoal. Assim que nós achamos uma... Oh, caçamba, viu?
Zenobia was waiting for Renato. She was alone, confident as always. Fire danced at the tips of her claws. Are you here to surrender? She seemed as cocksure as he felt. But she didn't know he had the stone. And I've missed you too, love. He chuckled. She spotted the stone and bolted without another word.
É. Pra eu criar a espada eu não tenho a merda do... Deixa eu ver. Minério. Ah! Bora atrás.
With all this ore, Renato could forge a really great sword. He was a master forger. That everything wasn't
lá, vem pra cá você. Eita! Bora continuar. Aí ela vai morrer lá no barco dela, quer ver? É.
Finally, Renato caught up to her. He had never seen her scared before. At school, she'd been the determined, brave one. Now her eyes were wide, frightened. He didn't like seeing her this way. Kill her, whispered the stone. You cannot win your rebellion without it. Please. No, said Zenobia. Not that way. Oh, they had been so close once. Could he really feed her soul to his demonic gem? But if he spared her, he would not get the full power of the stone. Oh, how could he be the hero he wanted to be? With a flick of his wrist, he slashed Zenobia's throat. Her eyes widened even more, and then the light went out of them. Renato felt amazing. Power was rushing into him like water from a burst dam. Oh, such brilliance, exulted the Iblis stone.
Caraca.
Renato returned to the Farfarer and set a course for the Nexus. The Empire had a communication outpost there. He could call the Emperor directly. It was time to seize the outpost and let the Emperor know what he had done.
Vamos lá, pessoal. Vou pegar esse impulso avançado e encerrar o vídeo. Nem sei quanto tempo que tá, porque o OBS ele não mostra o tempo de gravação. Mas caraca, velho. Eu falei que ia fazer a rota de genocida, né? Então.
The Nexus was beautiful. He never realized how beautiful. Everything glowed. The wind was so sweet. The sun so soft. The stones so warm. The black raven feathers. Black feathers. Suddenly, his eyes are filled with them. He's falling through smoke under a dead sun. A voice calls him home. Is this a vision? Whose? Is this the time of the lost gods? Or the future? No matter. What mattered now was killing his way to the Imperial outpost and challenging the Emperor from there. There was a
A gente
sign.
veio pro nosso início.
Take the goat across first.
Deixa um baú pra trás. Oh, meu pai. Pra lá você. Toma. Ah, tá, tinha aqueles bichos lá que ficavam curando. Falar, caraca, meu. De novo você?
Voice Someone had spent a lot of money for a graduation present.
Ah, já nível 2. Coisa boa. Ok, pessoal, aquele esquema lá, vocês pausem o vídeo e vão lendo, tá bom? Mas será que essa rocha aí, essa pedrinha aqui que o... Isso, será que ela não tá satisfeita não?
Whee!
Ui! Minérios. Vamos ir pra ali, vamos fazer o seguinte. Adiantou o caminho. Eu espero que até a próxima bancada eu consiga achar um pouquinho de minério. Isso aqui eu não preciso trocar. Só meter a espada ali, ó. Pronto. GG. Opa! Vai voar. Vai voar também. Só level up. Opa! Não!
Think of all the artisans he was creating employment for. Truly, he was a job creator.
Job Creator. Tá mais um pouquinho, eu já consigo pegar a quarta
Up
espada.
ahead was Lapino. What was he doing here?
Bernardo! Hey, buddy! Hey there, old buddy! Please don't kill me!
Why would I kill you? Asked Bernardo, although he had been thinking about it.
Well, you've become... no, I mean, no disrespect at all here. Kind of evil? Maybe you should, I don't know, go to the mountains to have a think? See if maybe you're sure the stone is not all that healthy a thing to keep?
Como que sabe da pedra?
Suppose you wanted, Bernardo said, and poked Lapino in the chest for emphasis. Oh, had he just killed Lapino? Oh, damn it.
Lá vai ficar Lapino agora.
Bernardo had always wanted a flying carpet. This was more like a flying tabletop, but it would do.
Pum. Ah. Pra mim ir pra lá, vou ter que subir isso aqui, eu acho. Não. Só. Caraca. Muito bom isso aqui.
Renato rampaged through the Imperial outpost like a water buffalo rampaging. At the last moment, he remembered not to kill the Farspeaker Toad. After all, he wanted a word with the Emperor. But there was only silence. The Emperor was scared, like little girl. Well, he would gather the rebel army and slaughter the Imperial fleet. Yes! Applauded the Iblis stone. Tremendous.
Cara.
Then the Emperor would have to answer his Farspeaker, wouldn't he? Who are you? Asked a distant voice that sounded uncomfortably like Zenobia. What have you become? The mountains. Go to the mountains, urged another that sounded a bit like Lapino.
Tá, pera aí. Eu tô forçando aqui a rota no sino, então vamos, né? Para de lutar.
Renato called the rebel council to let them know to gather their forces. Then he killed the Farspeaker Toad. Why? Well, because to make sure his sword was sharp. Oh no, that's awful. So no one else could use it. Yes, that's it. Then he set off for the ruins and the secret rebel base. The ruins were crawling with ravens. Probably looking for the secret base, Renato thought. But then he realized they're probably looking for me. They must be very scared of me. Well, here I am. You are the best warrior ever, whispered the Iblis stone. And he had to agree with it, for once. Who was as good as Renato?
Pessoal, é isso. Vou terminar esse vídeo por aqui. Eu acho que ele ficou bem grande já. Bem, pessoal, é isso. Espero que tenham gostado desse vídeo. Se você gostou, dê um like, pode dar inscrever-se no canal. Compartilhe o vídeo com seus amigos. E, mano, você que achou até aqui, você é foda pra caramba, tá ligado? Muito obrigado mesmo. Pessoal, é isso. Muito obrigado. Fui.